Welcome to Passion Travel. Join us as we explore fascinating destinations, uncover hidden gems, and embark on unforgettable journeys. Subscribe now and ignite your passion for travel. Irish fish and chips. Crispy battered fish served with thick-cut chips, fries, often accompanied by tartar sauce or malt vinegar. To prepare Irish fish and chips, you'll need a few key ingredients for both the battered fish and the chips. Here's what you'll need. For the fish: white fish fillets, such as cod, haddock, or pollock. For fillets, around 150-200 g per fillet. Flour, for the batter and dusting. 1 cup, 125 g, of all-purpose flour, plus extra for dusting the fish. Baking powder. 1 teaspoon, helps make the batter light and crispy. Cornstarch, optional, for extra crispiness. 1 tablespoon. Salt. 1 teaspoon, plus extra for seasoning the fish. Cold beer or sparkling water, for the batter. 3/4 cup, 180 milliliters, of cold beer or sparkling water. This helps the batter stay light and crispy. Egg. 1 large egg, optional, some recipes use an egg in the batter for added richness. Black pepper. Freshly ground for seasoning. Oil, for frying. Enough vegetable or sunflower oil to deep fry the fish, about 2 to 3 liters. For the chips, fries. Potatoes. 4 to 6 large potatoes, starchy potatoes like Maris Piper or russet work best. Salt. To season the fries. Oil. For frying, same as the oil used for the fish, vegetable or sunflower oil. Optional. Malt vinegar, for drizzling over the fish and chips, a classic Irish touch. Tartar sauce, for dipping. Lemon wedges, for garnish. Basic steps for preparation. Prepare the chips. Peel the potatoes, if desired, and cut them into thick chips, about 1 centimeter wide. Rinse the chips in cold water to remove excess starch, then dry them thoroughly. Heat oil in a deep fryer or a large pot to around 180 degrees Celsius 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Fry the chips in batches for about 5 to 7 minutes until golden and crispy. Remove and drain on paper towels. Season with salt immediately. Prepare the batter. In a bowl, combine the flour, cornstarch, if using, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Slowly add the cold beer or sparkling water and whisk until smooth. The batter should be thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. You can adjust the consistency by adding a little more flour or liquid. Optionally, you can add a beaten egg to the batter for a richer texture. Prepare the fish. Pat the fish fillets dry with paper towels. Season with salt and pepper. Dust the fish fillets lightly with flour, this helps the batter stick. Dip the fish fillets into the batter, coating them evenly. Fry the fish. Heat oil in a deep fryer or large pot to around 180 degrees Celsius 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Carefully lower the battered fish into the hot oil and fry for 5 to 7 minutes, turning once, until the batter is golden and crispy, and the fish is cooked through. Remove the fish from the oil and drain on paper towels. Serve. Serve the fish hot with a side of crispy chips. Drizzle with malt vinegar, or serve with tartar sauce and lemon wedges. Sausage roll. A flaky pastry filled with seasoned pork sausage, a popular snack in many street food markets. A sausage roll is a classic snack or party food, made of seasoned sausage wrapped in flaky puff pastry. It's a popular treat in the UK and Ireland, often enjoyed as a quick bite or served at gatherings. Here's a simple recipe to make your own sausage rolls at home. Ingredients. For the sausage filling: sausage meat. 500 g, about 1 pound, of sausage meat. You can use sausages and remove the casing or buy pre-made sausage filling. Breadcrumbs. Half a cup, about 30 g, to help bind the filling and make it firm. Onion. 1 small onion, finely chopped, optional for extra flavor. Garlic. 1 clove, minced, optional. Herbs. 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme or sage, or 1 teaspoon dried thyme or sage. Salt and pepper. To taste. Worcestershire sauce. 1 tablespoon, optional for extra depth of flavor. Nutmeg. A pinch, optional for a bit of warmth in the flavor. For the pastry. Puff pastry. 1 sheet of ready-made puff pastry, about 250 g or 9 ounces. You can use short crust pastry if you prefer a firmer texture, but puff pastry is the classic choice. Egg. 1 egg, beaten, for egg wash to give the pastry a golden finish. Instructions. Prepare the sausage filling. In a large mixing bowl, combine the sausage meat with the breadcrumbs, finely chopped onion, if using, minced garlic, if using, herbs, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Mix the ingredients together until fully combined. You can use your hands or a spoon for this. The mixture should be firm but moist enough to hold together. Prepare the pastry. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius (400 degrees Fahrenheit) and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Roll out the puff pastry on a lightly floured surface. If you're using a store-bought sheet, unroll it and trim it to fit your baking sheet. Cut the pastry into 2 long rectangles, or more if you're making smaller rolls. Each rectangle should be about 8 to 10 centimeters, 3 to 4 inches, wide. Assemble the sausage rolls. Divide the sausage filling into 2 equal portions, or more if making smaller rolls. Shape each portion of sausage filling into a long log and place it down the center of each pastry rectangle. Fold the sides of the pastry over the sausage filling to encase it, sealing the edges by pressing the pastry together gently. You can use a fork to crimp the edges and ensure it's sealed well. If desired, you can cut the sausage rolls into smaller individual portions at this point, about 4 to 5 pieces per roll, depending on size. Bake. Brush the tops of the sausage rolls with the beaten egg to give them a shiny, golden finish. Place the rolls on the prepared baking sheet and bake in the preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until the pastry is golden and puffed up and the sausage filling is cooked through. If making smaller rolls, they will take a little less time, about 15 to 18 minutes. Serve. Remove the sausage rolls from the oven and let them cool slightly before serving. Serve them hot or at room temperature with a side of mustard, ketchup, or your favorite dipping sauce. Gourmet burgers. Handmade burgers using quality Irish beef, often served with local cheeses and fresh toppings. Gourmet burgers elevate the traditional burger into a more refined experience with high-quality ingredients, unique flavor combinations, and creative toppings. Here's a recipe for making gourmet burgers at home, including some premium ingredients and toppings that will impress your guests. Ingredients. For the burger patties. Ground beef, 80% lean/20% fat. 500 g, about 1 pound, of high-quality ground beef. Use freshly ground beef for the best flavor and texture. Salt. 1 teaspoon, or to taste. Black pepper. Freshly ground, to taste. Garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon, optional, for extra flavor. Worcestershire sauce. 1 tablespoon, for a savory, umami kick. Fresh herbs, optional. A small handful of chopped fresh herbs like thyme or rosemary, optional, adds a fragrant flavor. For the burger buns. Gourmet burger buns. For high-quality buns, brioche, potato rolls, or pretzel buns are great options. For the toppings, customizable. Cheese. For slices of cheese, such as aged cheddar, blue cheese, goat cheese, or Gruyere. Caramelized onions. 1 large onion, thinly sliced. 1 tablespoon butter. 1 teaspoon sugar, optional, to help caramelize. Lettuce. A handful of fresh arugula, baby spinach, or iceberg lettuce for crunch. Tomato. 1 large ripe tomato, sliced, preferably heirloom for more flavor. Pickles. Sliced dill or bread and butter pickles for a tangy bite. Avocado. 1 ripe avocado, sliced, optional for a creamy texture. Bacon. 4 slices of thick-cut bacon, crispy fried, optional for extra flavor. Sauces. Gourmet condiments such as Dijon mustard, truffle mayo, garlic aioli, or sriracha ketchup. Instructions. Prepare the burger patties. In a large mixing bowl, combine the ground beef with Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and fresh herbs, if using. Mix gently with your hands until the ingredients are just combined. Overmixing can make the patties tough. Divide the meat mixture into 4 equal portions and shape each portion into a patty. Make a small indentation in the center of each patty with your thumb to prevent them from puffing up during cooking. Caramelize the onions. Heat the butter in a skillet over medium heat. Add the thinly sliced onions and cook, stirring occasionally, for about 15 to 20 minutes, until they become soft, golden brown, and caramelized. You can add a teaspoon of sugar halfway through to help the onions caramelize faster, optional. Cook the burger patties. Heat a cast iron skillet or grill over medium-high heat. If you're grilling, lightly oil the grates. Cook the burger patties for 4 to 5 minutes per side for medium rare, or longer if you prefer a different doneness. Add a slice of cheese on top of each patty during the last minute of cooking to melt it, if desired. Toast the buns. Slice the burger buns in half and toast them lightly on the grill or in a pan for about 1 to 2 minutes, or until golden and slightly crispy. Assemble the gourmet burgers. Spread your desired sauces on the top and bottom of each toasted bun. Place the cooked burger patty with melted cheese on the bottom half of each bun. Layer with caramelized onions, fresh lettuce, tomato slices, pickles, avocado, and crispy bacon, if using. Top with the other half of the bun. Serve. Serve your gourmet burgers with a side of crispy fries, onion rings, or a fresh salad. You can also pair them with a craft beer or a chilled glass of wine for an elevated meal. Smoked salmon on brown bread. Smoked salmon served on traditional Irish brown bread with a dollop of butter. Smoked salmon is a delicious and versatile ingredient, often used in appetizers, salads, sandwiches, or as part of a charcuterie board. It's typically made by curing and smoking fresh salmon, which imparts a rich, smoky flavor. Here's how smoked salmon is made, along with some ideas on how to serve it. How smoked salmon is made. Smoked salmon is typically prepared in 2 main ways, cold smoking and hot smoking. Cold smoking. This process involves curing the salmon with salt and sugar and then smoking it at a low temperature, around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius or 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, for several hours or even days. Cold smoking does not cook the fish, so it remains delicate and raw in texture. Hot smoking. The salmon is smoked at higher temperatures, around 50 to 80 degrees Celsius or 122 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, which both cures and cooks the fish. The result is a flaky, fully cooked piece of salmon with a smoky flavor. Ingredients for cold smoked salmon. To make cold smoked salmon at home, you'll need the following ingredients. For curing the salmon. Fresh salmon fillets, skin on, bones removed, about 500 g to 1 kilogram, 1 to 2 pounds. Salt, 100 g, about half a cup. Sugar, 50 g, about a quarter cup. Black pepper, freshly ground, to taste. Optional herbs and spices. You can add dill, juniper berries, crushed garlic, or citrus zest for flavor. Some people also use vodka or gin in the cure to add complexity. For smoking. Wood chips or wood chunks, such as applewood, hickory, or alder wood if you're using a smoker. Steps for making cold smoked salmon. Prepare the cure. Mix the salt, sugar, and any optional spices or herbs you like, such as dill or crushed black pepper. If you're using vodka or gin, you can add it to the curing mixture or rub it onto the fish before curing. Cure the salmon. Lay the salmon fillets on a tray and rub the cure mixture generously on both sides of the fish. Cover the salmon with plastic wrap or place it in a shallow pan. Put a weight or plate on top of the fish to apply pressure, which helps the curing process. Refrigerate the fish for 12 to 24 hours, depending on the thickness of the fillets. After this time, the salmon should be firmer and have absorbed the curing mixture. Rinse and dry the fish. After curing, rinse off the excess salt and sugar under cold running water. Pat the salmon dry with paper towels. Place it on a wire rack and let it air dry in the fridge for several hours or overnight. This helps to form a pellicle, a slightly tacky surface that helps the smoke adhere better. Cold smoke the salmon. Set up your smoker or use a smoke box on a grill, making sure to use cold smoke, smoking at a temperature of around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius or 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Smoke the salmon for about 4 to 6 hours, depending on how smoky and flavorful you want it. You can test the texture after a few hours to see if it has reached your desired level of smokiness. Rest the smoked salmon. After smoking, let the salmon rest in the fridge for a couple of hours or overnight to allow the flavors to meld. It can be sliced thinly and served at room temperature. Serving ideas for smoked salmon. Classic bagel with cream cheese. A traditional way to serve smoked salmon is on a toasted bagel with cream cheese, thinly sliced red onion, capers, and a sprinkle of fresh dill or chives. Smoked salmon salad. Add smoked salmon to a green salad with mixed greens, cucumber, red onion, avocado, and a light vinaigrette. You can also add some boiled eggs for extra richness. Smoked salmon canapés. Serve smoked salmon on small pieces of rye bread or crackers, topped with cream cheese, fresh herbs, or a small dollop of horseradish sauce. Smoked salmon sushi rolls. Incorporate smoked salmon into sushi rolls, such as a smoked salmon and avocado roll, with wasabi and soy sauce on the side. Smoked salmon pasta. Toss smoked salmon with cooked pasta, such as linguine or fettuccine, along with a creamy dill sauce, a squeeze of lemon, and a bit of fresh parsley. Smoked salmon with eggs. Smoked salmon pairs wonderfully with eggs, whether scrambled, poached, or in a delicate omelette. Add a bit of fresh dill or chives on top for a gourmet touch. Smoked salmon pizza. For a unique twist, use smoked salmon as a topping on a pizza. Spread a thin layer of cream cheese or crème fraiche on the dough before adding the salmon, capers, red onions, and fresh herbs. Smoked salmon crostini. Serve smoked salmon on crostini, crispy toasted bread, with a spread of goat cheese, a drizzle of olive oil, and a sprinkle of lemon zest. Irish hot dogs. Hot dogs topped with mustard, ketchup, and caramelized onions, a quick and tasty snack. Irish hot dogs are a fun twist on the classic American hot dog, often incorporating elements of Irish flavors like cheddar cheese, bacon, and sauerkraut, or even a drizzle of Guinness mustard. These gourmet dogs combine the comforting familiarity of a hot dog with some distinct Irish ingredients for an extra savory and satisfying experience. Here's a recipe for Irish hot dogs that includes traditional Irish flavors. Ingredients. For the hot dogs: Irish sausages, or high-quality bratwurst or pork sausages, 4 to 6 sausages. Look for Irish sausages such as Cumberland sausages or any locally sourced sausages with a good balance of flavor and fat. Hot dog buns, 4 to 6 buns. You can use classic soft buns or slightly toasted brioche buns for a more gourmet touch. For the Irish toppings: cheddar cheese, 1 cup, 100 g, shredded Irish mature cheddar works best, as it has a sharper taste. Bacon, 4 slices, crispy fried and crumbled, adds crunch and smoky flavor. Sauerkraut, half a cup, optional, but it gives a nice tangy balance to the rich flavors. Caramelized onions, 1 small onion, thinly sliced and sautéed until golden and sweet. Guinness mustard, optional, 2 tablespoons. You can find this at specialty stores, or make your own by mixing Dijon mustard with a bit of Guinness beer for a tangy, savory kick. Fresh parsley or chives, chopped, for garnish. Instructions. Cook the Irish sausages. Heat a large skillet or grill pan over medium-high heat. Place the sausages in the pan and cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes, turning occasionally, until golden brown on all sides and cooked through. Alternatively, you can grill the sausages over medium heat on an outdoor grill for an even smokier flavor. Once cooked, set the sausages aside and keep warm. Prepare the toppings. Caramelize the onions. In a pan over medium heat, melt a bit of butter and sauté the thinly sliced onions for about 15 to 20 minutes, stirring occasionally until they are soft and golden brown. Set aside. Cook the bacon. While the sausages are cooking, fry the bacon slices in a separate pan until crispy. Once cooked, crumble the bacon into small pieces and set aside. Shred the cheese, grate the Irish cheddar cheese, and set aside. If you want to melt it over the sausages, keep it handy to sprinkle on just before serving. Assemble the Irish hot dogs. Lightly toast the hot dog buns on a grill or in a toaster for extra texture and flavor, optional, but highly recommended. Place the cooked sausages into the buns. Layer the sausages with the caramelized onions, crumbled bacon, and a generous handful of shredded cheddar cheese. If you want, add some sauerkraut for a bit of tanginess. Optional, drizzle with Guinness mustard or any other mustard you like, for an Irish twist. Serve. Garnish with fresh chopped parsley or chives for a burst of color and freshness. Serve the Irish hot dogs with your favorite sides, such as crispy fries, coleslaw, or even potato salad. Scones and pies. Traditional Irish scones, served sweet or savory, often filled with fruit or vegetables, and delicious as a snack. The basic ingredients for preparing scones and pies. Scones. Scones are a type of quick bread, typically served with tea. They're slightly sweet and often served with clotted cream and jam. Basic ingredients for scones. All-purpose flour, about 2 cups. Baking powder, 2 teaspoons. Salt, 1/4 teaspoon. Sugar, 2 to 3 tablespoons, for a slight sweetness. Cold unsalted butter, half a cup, cubed, cold. Whole milk or cream, half a cup, for richness. Egg, 1, for egg wash. Optional add-ins. Dried fruit, like currants, raisins, or cranberries. Lemon zest, vanilla extract, or cinnamon, for extra flavor. Chocolate chips, optional. For pie, sweet or savory, crust. The base for most pies is a flaky crust. You can use a store-bought pie crust or make your own with the following ingredients. Ingredients for pie crust. All-purpose flour, 2 half cups. Cold unsalted butter, 1 cup, cubed. Granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon, optional for sweet pies. Salt, 1/2 teaspoon. Cold water, 1/4 to half a cup, adjust as needed. Vinegar, optional, 1 teaspoon, helps with flakiness. For sweet pie filling, fruit pie example. Fresh or frozen fruit, e.g., apples, berries, peaches, about 4 to 6 cups. Sugar, 3/4 to 1 cup, adjust depending on fruit sweetness. Cornstarch, 2 to 3 tablespoons, to thicken filling. Lemon juice, 1 to 2 tablespoons, balances sweetness. Ground cinnamon or nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon, optional, for flavor. For savory pie filling, e.g., chicken pot pie. Cooked chicken or meat, 2 to 3 cups, chopped. Vegetables, 1 to 2 cups, carrots, peas, potatoes, etc. Chicken broth or stock, 1½ cups. Heavy cream or milk, half a cup, for creamy filling. Flour, 1/4 cup, to thicken the filling. Butter, 2 tablespoons. Seasonings, salt, pepper, thyme, garlic powder, etc. These are the basic ingredients for scones and pies. Depending on the specific recipe or type of pie you're making, savory versus sweet, there could be variations. Let me know if you'd like more detailed instructions or tips. Irish brown bread with butter. Dense, wholesome brown bread served with fresh butter, a staple in Irish cuisine. Irish brown bread is a traditional, hearty bread made with whole wheat flour and buttermilk, giving it a dense and slightly nutty flavor. It's a staple in Irish cuisine, often served with soups, stews, or simply with butter. Here's a simple recipe for Irish brown bread. Ingredients for Irish brown bread. Whole wheat flour, 2 cups, about 240 g. All-purpose flour, 1 cup, about 120 g. Baking soda, 1 teaspoon. Salt, 1 teaspoon. Sugar, 1 tablespoon, optional, but adds a touch of sweetness. Buttermilk, 1 1/4 cups, about 300 milliliters. Butter, 2 tablespoons, melted, optional, for richness. Optional add-ins, for extra flavor or texture. Oats, 1/4 cup, rolled oats or oat flakes, for a more rustic texture. Seeds, 2 tablespoons, like sunflower, pumpkin, or flax seeds. Honey, 1 tablespoon, for a hint of sweetness. Instructions. Preheat your oven. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 degrees Celsius. Grease and flour a 9-inch round or square baking tin, or line it with parchment paper. Mix the dry ingredients. In a large mixing bowl, sift together the whole wheat flour, all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, and sugar, if using. Add the buttermilk. Make a well in the center of the dry ingredients and pour in the buttermilk and melted butter, if using. Using a wooden spoon or your hands, mix the dough gently until it comes together. Be careful not to overwork the dough, as this can make the bread tough. Form the dough. The dough should be soft but not too sticky. If it's too sticky, add a little more flour. If it feels too dry, add a splash of extra buttermilk. Turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface and shape it into a round loaf. Score the bread. Place the dough in the prepared tin or onto a baking sheet. Use a sharp knife to score a deep cross on top of the dough. This helps the bread cook evenly and is a traditional touch in Irish brown bread. Bake the bread. Bake for about 35 to 40 minutes, or until the bread is golden brown and sounds hollow when tapped on the bottom. If you're using a round tin, check the bread at the 30-minute mark to ensure it doesn't overbrown. Cool and serve. Allow the bread to cool on a wire rack for at least 10 minutes before slicing. Serve with butter, jam, or alongside soups and stews.